And something just to keep in mind when we do... Oh, what the... No, I'm just not... I don't want to launch it. Not when you're getting that much of a thud.
A few moments later.
Oh! It has a bit of wheel spin. Fucking gears are flashing. Shit, we broke it. All right, let's push it out of the way. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of 0 to 60, and on today's episode, what are we doing?
Well, it's a follow-on from the 0 to 60 on the E36 M3 because we have been graced by an E46 M3.
Yeah, so yesterday's episode, hopefully you've all seen it, we went out and did a 0 to 60 on this E36 M3 EVO. Now it is a modified 3.2 litre Series 2 of the E36 M3. Now that has the S50.
Yep, the S50.
And they weren't massively powerful when they were new. I mean, they were for their age.
In the day, but nowadays that engine is...
But what's confused us is the times that we got in that car yesterday were really quick. In fact, it was faster 60 to 120 than a stock 1M that we tested a few months ago. It's pretty quick. 4.6.
What? And even after driving both cars, I wouldn't have thought that was possible. But there you go.
That's it. Now, we have never actually tested, well, I don't think we've done an E46 M3. No. We've been in them. No. David and myself absolutely love these cars. They've always felt very, very fast, but we haven't actually put pen to paper and properly timed them. So that's what's brought this on. Is the tuned E36 M3 going to be quicker than a stock E46 M3? Actually, it's not quite stock, is it? In fact, do you want to pop the bonnet quickly? And to see all the vehicle details on this car, I'll put a link to the video up in the corner yesterday.
I mean, it is a completely stock tune. It's...
On the 46?
Yeah.
But these, I think, will still rev to 8,000 RPM. It has got a cold intake and maybe a pod filter that could probably do with a change. But stock exhaust system, it is running an SMG. Now, I prefer the manuals compared to an SMG,
I think everyone does.
For what we're going to do, I think the SMG is probably going to shift quicker. They're definitely more aggressive. There's no mechanical sympathy with the SMGs on the shifts.
They are tuned to drop the clutch very aggressively and get a quick time.
Other than that, it has also got much better tyres than we're on the E36. We're actually running Michelin PS4S's on the E46 versus a Chinese tyre on the E36, which I think really did hold it back for its 0 to 100 time.
They are a terrible tyre. It's a tiny wheel, tiny tyre, and they're obviously not a good compound, especially nothing comparable to a PS4S.
This car has also got modified suspension. It's running a set of MCA coilovers, so it's got a few things that might help it put its power down from a launch. But the thing I'm really interested in is its 60 to 120 time. Is the E36 going to be quicker?
I've also, just like with the E60 M5, we discovered that it's actually faster to do a non-launch control launch, just to modulate the power yourself. But obviously that car has a lot of power. And doing a launch control, it would just fry the tyres through first and second. So I would like to try, if we get time and a chance, to try a launch control in the E46 M3 and also a manual launch where we can sort of modulate the power and hopefully wheel spin and sort of see which is actually faster and then obviously how they compare to the old school E36.
Well, I think we need to get out and do it. My money's on the E36 being quicker. What do you reckon?
Oh, look, honestly, I would have said hands down the 46 is going to get it, but the numbers on that thing just really surprised me. So I don't know.
Let's jump in and go for a drive. So although this car is running a stock engine tune, it does have the CSL SMG tune. So the shifts should be a little bit snappier. And something just to keep in mind when we do... Oh, what the... Thuds pretty heavily on that shift.
Wow.
All right, we're going to go and get a little bit used to this car. We'll see you guys shortly. Okay, so we're out in the car. You've missed about 45 seconds of driving, and there is a bit of an issue with it. So much of an issue, I don't think we're going to do the 0 to 100 test. Do you want to just show them?
Just sort of backed off to roll around this corner, and as you accelerate again, I hope the mic is picking that up, but there are probably all of the bushes in the rear end need replacing. And as you know, if you know anything about an E46 M3, these rear subframes are known for...
Well, I just wanted to add to this. Bryce did say this car has had the rear subframe reinforcement done, so the subframe's definitely okay. Bryce thinks it's the axles
That's the axles.
Yeah, now this car has done 286,000 kilometres. But Bryce thinks it's okay to go and bid on it. I'm just not, I don't want to launch it. Not when you're getting that much of a thud.
Especially knowing what the SMG launch controls are like, even on Phil's E46 330.
They're
how
very aggressive.
vicious it is. I think this car, it's just probably unnecessary, which is a shame because I wanted to see what it would do.
From a dig. But I think we'll still do the 60 to 130. That's going to have one shift, and with the momentum, hopefully it won't be too harsh on the rear end. So, you'll see us shortly, and we'll do a roll-on if you want to do one. Yep. Okay, so the shift wasn't too bad. All right, so it did a 4.96, which is as close as makes no difference to the E36.
Yeah.
Something we have noticed, this car feels a hell of a lot more torquey than the E36. That could be because it doesn't have a cable throttle and it's giving you some trickery. As you request 20% throttle with a pedal, it might be giving 50 or 60% throttle.
Yeah. That combined with just the perfect feeling of a
fly-by-wire throttle.
Yeah, as opposed to the old clunky, you know, the cable's a little bit dry or dusty somewhere inside. You get that resistance on the throttle.
Definitely feels... The engine seems to respond a bit nicer. But let's do another couple of acceleration runs. The shift wasn't too bad on the thudding. It didn't really thud too bad at all. It's just, I still don't want to launch it.
It's weird. Once you, like, I thought that was going to be the worst part for it to shift, but it seems to be worse when you're going slower. And don't forget, being an E46 as opposed to E36, you do have driving mode. So we're in sport mode. We've got DSC completely off, which then opens up your the extra aggressive shift mode, and it is in that as well. Although it was clunking even in automatic, pulling out the driveway. But yeah, you just haven't got any of that stuff to deal with in the E36. Not even traction control.
All right, well, you'll see us in a sec, guys. So that was a 4.88. It's gone quicker.
Only just, but yeah, there's obviously no traction issues. It's pretty smooth. It's easy to change gear with the SMG. You just pull a paddle, and having the proper M cluster as well, you get the shift lights, which is pretty cool.
This car's quick.
It is stock tune, stock intake, stock exhaust, and it is. I do like that sound.
Yeah, it's. Man, CSL airbox.
Oh, yeah, amplify it times 10.
Yes,
that would be awesome.
All right. So we've made the executive decision. We're going to try 0 to 100, but we're going to do it without the launch control, because I think it's the launch control in the SMGs that's particularly aggressive, and also because they are so aggressive, you also get quite a lot of wheel spin normally. So we'll try a 0 to 100 without using launch control, and just so we've got a bit of a baseline to compare it against the E36.
After doing those really quite respectable, they're good times really for the 60 to 120. What do you reckon it's going to do from a dig?
Look, I think 6 seconds would be a good number.
It would?
Yeah, I mean, we did pull off, I think 5.6, 5.7 in the E36. You guys will know the exact numbers, they'll be on the screen. But yeah, anything around 6. High 5s, low 6s.
Yeah, I reckon if you can get into the 5s, you're bloody laughing on a stock 46 M3. Real world conditions with 2 bloody people in the car.
Let's go give it a go. Oh! I think that's a bit of wheel spin. 5.84 and a 5.2 60 to 120.
Right.
Not terrible times, in fact, but pretty similar to the E36. You know what, I reckon we got another run in there, but maybe a little bit gentle, less wheel spin. I reckon you might be able to go a bit quicker. To watch. Verified. 5.8.
Huh. It's just fucking gears are flashing. Don't know what that means.
Okay, we may have broken it. Oh shit, don't know if you guys can see that, but it's stuck in 6th gear now.
No, gears are working, they're just flashing.
Shit, we broke it. All right, let's push it out of the way. I think
Should go into that bus stop?
No, because just go to the left. Turn right, turn right. Yep, left a bit. Okay.
It's the clutch.
The clutch?
Yeah. Clutch is gone.
Okay. So that's the second time we've broken a car in the last 2 weeks.
I have to stop doing this YouTube thing.
I think it's the bonnet latch had come up.
You're kidding.
All right, just try again, see if it'll engage the gear.
It's not flashing.
Ah!
It's not flashing.
Basically, when we launched it, the bonnet come up a little bit.
Just gonna see if it... It works.
Oh my God.
Mother trucker. It should say,
Bonnet open.
yeah, rather than just not working.
Oh.
I pooed.
All right, let's head back and we'll go from there. All right, Dave, give us some revs. It sounds all right for a stock car.
It sounds awesome. It does actually go through the RPM range really quickly.
I think this one does sound better.
But it's a full
It's very tuned, yeah.
That is very easy to identify what car it is, that's for sure, with that noise.
All right, let's have a look at these times. Okay, so we're back. Apart from having that scare with the bonnet mustn't have been latched properly, which is kind of scary. It was just come up enough to
Set the
SMG crazy, and we lost all drive. We thought we'd broken it. But times, so the 0 to 100s, this car did 5.84 and 5.81.
very consistent.
That's the 46. The E36 this morning did 5.87 and 5.93. Now they were the two verified times. It did do a 5.7, but it didn't verify. So look, they're both 5.8 second 0 to 100 cars, which
Is surprising.
yeah, well, I thought that was going to be really quick, but that's quicker than I thought it was going to be as well.
They both are. It's...
That said, if that had PS4S's,
Yeah.
that might make the difference.
Yeah.
Because this didn't get a lot of wheel spin, and even when it did, it still moved the car forwards at a good rate.
Yeah.
Now let's compare the 60 to 120s.
Again, very surprising for both vehicles.
So, right. We only did one flat out 60 to 120 in that, and it was 4.96.
Oh.
So the E36 was 4.6. That was actually quicker,
Gets it.
60 to 120.
Gets it. I must say, I thought the 2nd to 3 shift with the SMG was going to be much better than in that car with the old school manual. But I don't think it wasn't actually as quick as I thought it was going to be, especially as it was in the fastest mode that SMG will do. Whereas like on the E60 M5, when you unlock that fast mode, the shifts are they're incredibly quick once you shift that, near the red line. But yeah, that didn't seem to... I mean, it wasn't slow, don't get me wrong, but I thought it was going to be quicker.
Now, I've got to be honest, I'm a bit confused here because when we went out in that car this morning, it was much faster than we were expecting.
Yeah.
We've gone out in that, and that was much faster than we were expecting, but that one was actually the quick one. So we did 3 60 to 120s. One was 4.8 and the other two were 5.1, and I think the last one was 5.2. So that car is quicker. The E36 M3 EVO has been quicker than the standard E46.
I wouldn't have picked that, especially in this actual car. When Bryce was at Euroday a few weeks ago, I actually did a few passenger laps in this thing. And
it feels quick.
And he was keeping up with quick cars at Lakeside.
And it makes all the right noise. But is that just the weird e-throttle giving you the sensation of power that's not actually there? Where with the cable throttle, you just don't get that.
It definitely helps. Even, and the whole car, it drives, it feels...
much smoother.
In every way.
It does feel a lot more modern.
Even while it was clunking at the rear end. Like if you could get rid of those clunks, it would be such a nice car to own.
So, David, if you could afford either of those two. And I think they're probably worth similar money right now. Like a high mileage E46 is probably worth similar money to
a clean 36
M3 at this point in time, although the market's a bit all over the place. Which would you take?
That's a tough question.
To be, I think if it's just a Sunday car to drive to like cars and coffee,
The 36?
probably the 36. But if I needed to use it even 2 or 3 times a week, the 46 hands down.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Or even drive, like I wouldn't want to drive to Sydney in the 36, but you could jump in that and do it no dramas.
And maybe CSL intake, a bit of an exhaust mod.
Yes, get it a little bit more.
Do the same mods to that that's done to that, and
Yeah, true. Yeah.
there's
Ideally,
more potential.
you just have both though, wouldn't you?
You do.
In a perfect world. Just want all of the M cars.
It's true. We want all of the BMWs, to be real. Anyway, right, let's end it off there, guys. I hope this was of interest to some people. The tuned E36 M3 EVO is fractionally faster than the stock E46, which goes to show how good the S54 is, really.
Yeah, they are.
All right. Thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.
Peace out.